There's no problem.
Okay.
You can't get a for-profit company to get funding.
No, well,
No.
we can chime in on that, Laura. Are you eavesdropping? Well, given that I heard it twice, here and there in my ear, I'm not exactly eavesdropping.
But you can. We can provide a service.
It's not, it would, I mean, you could be a vendor. Yeah, but, or you can be, I mean, in different kinds of vendors, it's done differently.
Can you be nonprofit and still do community service and still receive funding?
I'm sorry, nonprofit and,
Can you be a profit providing a community service and still receive money?
if the service was something we wanted to provide to someone, but it's not as straightforward process because the city would likely want to create a contract. So it's not like fast.
I understand.
Okay. Okay, so, hi,
Asking questions.
guys, can we turn down, we have so many guests, and I know we don't have quorum, but we might need it's a semi-order. And for those of you on Zoom, can you just raise your hand and let me know if you can hear me? Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, so we don't have quorum yet, and we'll probably be able to start the meeting presentation and general public comments while waiting for quorum, and I would like to wait a little bit longer. We'll see how close the quorum is getting. And
Michael World having NPG, things like that.
okay.
I got so much to be on.
So.
Nobody knows. Is the new memory phone?
That's why I was really like, 2 months ago. You and her on that page. Because we have 2 board members, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, anybody online? 2. It's just online.
Oh, pardon me.
Still not too low. Yeah, cool.
Everyone, please.
It's not how to get you see it.
Four times.
Okay, but first I'm gonna upload it to the cards. The meeting. Okay, so I'm gonna upload, I'm gonna take up this.
Can you upload first, or do you just want to play it blind?
We probably could, but I definitely want to upload
This is from
first because I forgot to.
Oh.
They have one.
And when you get those, you can one of them.
Well.
Oh, Kansas.
Candace went home, so she doesn't,
Can I come back?
she's coming on Zoom.
Okay.
So she didn't sneeze all over all of us.
How many do you need? Was it?
13, we have 10 right now.
I don't know, before she did that, so I'm saying.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so, you guys, well, it is 7:12, and I know we don't have quorum yet. But we do have several presentations. So I think I'm just gonna not call the meeting to order. But,
Who are we waiting on, Laura? Did anybody?
it was like 2 people we're not technically waiting on are, Ed Saunders and Grace. I have no other information about anyone who's not here. So
I think Joshua Pierce may be on vacation, but did not get back to you.
he didn't get back to me. I left a message for Chris Carlson this morning. I did not call Paula because she had said she was gonna be here. I mean, you know, she's not been very,
know the elected people.
they don't take office until July.
Oh, we can't use them.
Where's Dave?
David
Osai?
Osai is
He's
on,
on.
on Zoom.
Mhm.
So at the moment, we have 16 active members. You know, we've been discussing this, so I'm lecturing to, preaching to the choir, because we're here and here, but that we can't afford any absences, because there's only 3 things. So what I'm proposing is that we just start going through all the presentations, including for funding requests. We can't,
There's somebody.
Yeah.
not important.
So it's Paula and who else? Laura?
Chris Carlson,
Show.
show's here,
Oh, which?
Yeah,
Oh,
show's
oh.
here. Joshua,
Who's on vacation? I
Is it Ed?
Ed Saunders.
Is here.
Yeah, I have this sinking feeling that we have a problem, but so
Where's
what?
Chris Carlson?
Okay,
I'll call her.
okay, but what I'm proposing to y'all,
I believe it's a great idea.
yeah,
Let's
it's
start
just go
with
through
presentation.
every presentation.
Yeah.
Because that way, if we have to have a special meeting on Zoom to actually vote on things, we will have seen all the presentations. And we can move, you know, just bing on the vote, because we do, all of these matters must be done in May. Oh, and Candace, who is gonna log in. So, okay, so, hi, everybody, sorry, we're having a bit of a side conversation here in the real room. And that we try to be equal time with the Zoom room, but we always forget, so we're gonna try really hard, right, everybody? To talk to the screen and not cross talk. My name is Laura Myers. Because of the way we have hybrid Zoom, what we always ask everyone here, again, sitting in person, is to identify themselves, because one of the things that we do with these meetings is we are recording, and that includes a sort of AI written transcript that, you know, we get the next day. And so we are gonna try and always identify ourselves so that when we see the transcript, we see our name. You don't need to do that online every time, but you do need to raise your hand and ask us to join in the conversation. The reason you don't need to online is the computer knows who you are. or I should say Zoom knows who you are. So again, my name is Laura Myers. I am the Vice President of United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council. And because we do not yet have quorum, I will share the screen so you can see the agenda that will be following along. But right now, we will not be able to take any actions because we cannot officially call the meeting to order until and unless we have quorum. So, Alfonso, are we able to take general public comments since there's no action and discussion?
If you want to, you have to put the word, somebody can fix it.
At this time.
Yeah. Like,
No, I understand. That's why I asked you the question. So we will need to defer the general public comments and announcements as well. So what we do have are several government agency reports. I lost mine here. We including a report from Council District 10, a report from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, a presentation from LADWP, an announcement about LAFD, Fire Department Fire Service Day, and then we'll skip the community impact statements at this point and go to funding requests for just the presentations. So for board members, we're not asking questions, we're just hearing the presentations. So Danielle, I'm gonna stop the share. Danielle Merrill, are you still with us? There you are.
Hello, everybody. This is a terrible camera angle, but whatever. It's Thursday. Good afternoon. My name is Danielle Merrill. I'm a field deputy for Councilwoman Heather Hutt's office. I wanted to just give a quick little update. I don't have a very detailed report. As usual, 311. There has been an upgrade. I'm not sure if everybody's used the new system. There are a few little glitches. I personally am not getting used to it. I prefer the old system. So it's something I believe that IT and them are working on. But if you have any issues with some of your existing service requests, please send them my way and I can look into them for you. Just because personally here at my house, I've been having a lot of issues when I report things on 311, and it's getting it's a little bit of a delay in getting those completed. So keep those service request numbers, send them my way if you ever have any issues. Coyotes, we still have a lot of Coyotes kits available and signed. So if anybody is interested, I can drop those off to you. Just let me know the quantity of how many kits and how many signs. I know West Adamside Sugar Hill, they like some signs posted on Oxford. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for them. But we have those available still. A minor update regarding street lighting for at least the northern half of UNC, the area that I cover. Councilwoman Hutt has been using discretionary funding to get the lights back on here in CD10, or they're in CD10. I'm in CD9 right now. And so with this, I've been doing my best to prioritize some of the locations that have been in the queue for a long time. So they're actually out working in CD10. Laura, is your hand up? Sorry.
no, you're
Oh,
good.
okay. Okay, sorry, I saw like half the hand up. So they're currently working in CD10 this week, and for the locations that I prioritize, it's going to be long stretches on Washington, Venice, and Pico. So with that last round of discretionary funding, we should see about another 200 lights back on in the district, and that's kind of district-wide, not just in that area. So that's something that the councilwoman is making sure those funding are going to the lights. Other than that, I do want to bring up a major event that we're having on May 10th. That's going to be our Mother's Day concert. It is a free event. We have various headliners, D-Nice, Leela James. So I pushed out the flyer. I don't think there are any new acts that have been added. It is a free event. You just have to RSVP on the link. And it is going to be at the Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex on the baseball field. So if you have a little umbrella or some kind of shade, I would recommend you bring it, but it will be an outdoor concert. I don't have anything else unless anybody has specific questions for me. No.
You're not supposed to.
Okay. Well, if you do, You know where to reach me. Please send it my way.
We can ask her, I know we can't ask questions of the MPG, the funding request, but we should be able to ask questions of the government agency.
It's the board, not the public.
Yeah,
Yeah, the other voted for this session.
yeah,
Well,
but I don't have any. But we don't have any,
Okay. Thank you. I
thank you,
really,
everybody.
and thank you for all your hard work. Thanks, Danielle.
Of course. And you know where to find me if you need anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
All right. My name is Alfonso with the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. I'm the NEA for the Neighborhood Empowerment Advocate. Just so everyone's aware, I did send out my announcements to the board as I usually do, because I think that's easier for y'all, makes the meeting a little bit quicker. Just the two highlights I have for you is Congress and Neighborhoods. They are meeting every Saturday. They're gonna meet this Saturday. So what our department is going to try, and hopefully we advocate with the planning committee, is having the Empower LA Awards come back and be part of the Congress and Neighborhoods. So that used to be a big thing back, like a few years back, right, Laura? So we just recognize people, it'll be, I think around lunchtime, if they do approve that, so just a heads up. Budget advocates, go. All right, so the budget advocates, they did send out, they did present to the budget committee, on Monday. I know they had a few issues come up, but it's in their invite too, right? They have a letter of CIS. We strongly encourage each neighborhood council to file CIS. So you can advocate about your issues. What you can also do as an individual is make a public comment online with the CIS. So I did that as well, so you know. There are plenty of budget cuts, not just for neighborhood council, but for the department too. So it will impact you guys if this budget is approved, right? So what they're proposing is it's gonna be cut down from 33,000 to 25,000. So I know in the past, every time we bring down the amount, it never comes back up. So I just want to make you guys clear about that. That's it. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay, hi, Dawn. I know you and at least one team member are here from LADWP. And do you need to share the screen? You have a presentation?
Yes, yes, yes. And Martin here will introduce the subject and our presenter. Thank you for the time.
Martin needs to have the screen share, or do both of you?
Go ahead.
Samuel Oliden will be sharing his screen with you shortly. So we'll get started as soon as he gets up and running.
Okay, I'm sorry, who's gonna be sharing? Who's sharing?
Samuel Oliden.
Is not
Samuel Oliden.
here. Is he here?
Yes, he's here.
There we go, I see him. Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, can everybody see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Fantastic. All righty. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. First and foremost, good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you all. My name is Martin Lamb. I am the Central District Engineer at the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, and I am one of the many responsible for the planning and maintenance of the distribution system in the city. This evening, we are here with you today and happy to be here to share with you one of the many projects around the city that aims to improve the reliability and resiliency of our water distribution system. This is just one of many projects within what we call our mainline replacement program, which is one of the biggest infrastructure improvement initiatives that LADWP carries. So tonight, one of our civil engineers, Mr. Samuel Oliden, will be speaking to you about this specific upcoming project in the Arlington Heights area. and how this project will be carried through construction. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Mr. Oliden.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah,
Good.
Great, great. So today I'll be talking about the Arlington Heights Mainline Replacement Project. So I'll go over a brief agenda. So the agenda for the project, we'll do a quick overview of the project, the construction schedule of the project, the traffic control on the project, our current coordination outreach for the project, and we'll have a brief question and answer at the end of the presentation. So if you can please hold for your questions, we'll go back to any slides that you guys may have questions on. So we'll go ahead and get started with a brief overview. This project is broken up into 3 phases, located in Arlington Heights, north of the Interstate 10 highway, east of Crenshaw Boulevard, right where my cursor is. This project replaces approximately 9,750 linear feet of cast iron pipe, which was installed previously about 80 to 100 years ago. The benefits of this project, it improves our infrastructure reliability, it reduces pipe breaks, and increases our pipe network resiliency. This helps improve and strengthen our water distribution system, just as Martin mentioned, which directly affects our customers. So next, I'll go over the phases of the project and the construction sequencing and schedule. So currently, our project is broken up into 3 phases. The approximate timeline for this project will have the section in blue, which is south of Arlington Heights Elementary School, and the Johnny Cochran Middle School as well. That phase is anticipated to start July 2025 through September 2025. And then the next phase will be phase 2, which is in green, which will start October 2025 through January 2026. The next phase, which is east of the schools in pink here, will start February 2026 through July 2026. The work hours are Monday through Friday, which is typical for our construction, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We will also occasionally work Saturdays, depending on the need for the projects, and to limit traffic congestion throughout the area. Yes, this project is a good scope. It's about a year and a half. But please note, even though we have the phase listed here, for example, phase 1 in blue for about 3 months, we will not be in the whole area at one time. Our construction is a rolling construction, and typically we're about 100 to 200 feet per day is where we like to do our construction. So it's in sections. So for example, for the 18th Street, in 1 to 2 days, we would probably be a quarter of a block. So the next slide will go over kind of our typical construction workflow. So as mentioned, usually our projects start off with a layout and utility markings, as seen here. So you'll notice to see markings in the street, and those markings eventually will be cut up. Typically, our sections are 2 feet wide trenches, about like 5 feet deep. So it's a very minor trench and work area that we have. As you can see, we'll do the layout, and we will cut the trench, and from there, our crews will install the main line. So what we like to do is, in order to keep traffic congestion flowing and to limit the conflicts in the area, we actually trench. We trench our main line, and then we have steel plates that we're able to cover our main line during our construction and after our construction is complete. So we limit the amount of impact and allow for traffic to continue through the street if needed. So as mentioned, our construction is about 100 to 200 feet sections at a time. So we do that to limit congestion and help ease flow of traffic as needed. And after the main line is installed, we backfill with slurry up top, and then we have final paving to make the street up to the standards before we got in there and broke ground. And as you can see, it's a nicely fresh paving, and we have a brand new main ready to serve our customers. So the next slide will be going over the traffic control. So the traffic control setup is exactly kind of like our construction. We set up and remove daily, and we again have our steel plates as seen in this picture that cover our work during and after our construction to allow traffic to continue to flow. Driveway access is maintained at all times, and our crews are pretty good about talking to the local residents and are able to assist if there's any access that may be lacking through our construction. So we are able to assist and allow access at all times. The next slide will be parking. So parking, unfortunately, will not be allowed in the areas of our zone. As stated earlier, we will be doing portions of construction in our phases. So it won't limit the whole block. It will just be portions of where our traffic control setup will be. And these signs will be posted 2 to 3 days prior to construction in that area. So we will have ample time to notify the residents. As far as for pedestrian impacts, at this time, we don't anticipate any sidewalk impacts to our construction, and any bus stops that are along alignment will be relocated, and our crews will work with the residents in terms of the bus stops. The last slide is coordination outreach. So we do have outreach materials that are available on our ledp.com website, such as the project fact sheet, which gives you an overview of the project and the phases for the project. We also do construction notices and door hangers, which will be sent 2 weeks prior to construction in that area. And then we also do something which is pretty unique. We have a new next door post where we'll update on our website as our construction is progressing through the phases. So you will likely see phase 1 will be complete at this date, and we'll be on the next phase. And we'll do that throughout the duration of our construction until completion. So that concludes our presentation. If you have any questions or answers, please feel free to ask them now. And if not, and you have something later down the line, our information is down below. And we'll be more than happy to assist and answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Well, I realize we have not actually convened the meeting, so this is like a pre-meeting. So what the heck? Sure, let's just do it. Because they're here to get, yeah.
So, thank you very much. Can you explain to us
Say your name.
Yes, it's Teresa Masonet asking the folks at LADWP a question. Can you explain to us, will there be any impact on the trees? And if so, how do you manage that?
Yeah, no problem. So typically when we apply for permit through the Bureau of Engineering, we do get flagged if there's any tree impacts in the area from our urban forestry group. In this specific project, we've already gone through the necessary steps with the urban forestry group, and there are minimal to no impacts on the trees in the area of this project.
Can you give me more detail on that? So we say minimal, that means that there will be some trees that you've already obtained permission from USD, or?
Yeah, so I mean minimal, it's we've received from Bureau of Engineering when we go through our permitting process. They usually flag if we have services or anything that's in the area that could be an impact to the trees. We've already reached out to urban forestry and got the approval for doing work in the area. If there's anything that we do during our construction, our crews will flag it, and we'll reach out to urban forestry directly to mitigate any issues out in construction. But this time there is no impact.
Yeah, and when Sam says, oh, my apologies. When Sam says no impacts, basically means that there's not going to be any kind of tree removals. There's no tree root prunings anticipated or anything like that. The construction that we do is in the center of the roadway, so we normally do not run into trees. Sometimes the only times that we run into trees is if our pipeline gets extremely close off to the side of the street, to the gutter maybe, and if there's a large tree with roots, at that point, that is when coordination is done with the urban forestry group at the Board of Public Works. But in this project, that has not been an issue.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Laura. I do have a question. Since you're right by the schools, have you coordinated how do you coordinate with the schools since they have, you know, parents dropping off kids and buses, you know, how does that work?
Yeah, so we coordinate with them through our public relations group and our key accounts group. They actually work directly with them, as well as our construction superintendents that are actually responsible for this project. They reach out to the principals or the school liaisons to make sure that we're not impacting any drop-offs, et cetera, or any activities that the school may have. So our construction superintendents do a pretty good job about coordinating with the schools, and we can always, maneuver our construction activities to limit those conflicts.
Any other questions, either online, I mean, on Zoom or here? Okay, thank you very much. And how do I stop the share? And could you stop the share, please?
Great. Well, also thank you all very much for your time. Really appreciate the opportunity to present to you. And if there are any questions after this, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help.
Daniel, can you talk with the share just so we can see the other hands raised?
I know, where's Daddy?
Please.
Did that work? Sorry.
There you go.
Did that stop it?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right.
Anybody Zoom have a question? We couldn't see your hand. But apparently not. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, so before we proceed, Teresa, did you manage to reach anybody?
No, I texted Paula, I left a message for Chris Carlson.
And Candace has not logged in. So okay, so again, fire service day.
Okay. Okay, so just to know, first of all, my name is Corinne Eldridge.
No, it's almost time.
Corinne Eldridge, and wanted to share that we were informed at our event at Firefighter Appreciation Dinner that in the LA County, LA City, the fire stations are gonna open their doors, have an open house, May 10, that's a Saturday. Each firehouse will host differently an event. I am due to get a flyer from Station 26.
It's here. We got it.
Oh, we got it. Okay, perfect. And so that's for Station 26. The representative couldn't make it. He was on call. But just everyone to go out and share, especially for the children that can go out and actually meet and greet firefighters. Get very excited, or any potential people that want to join the fire department. They're there to just help answer any questions and just meet and greet their neighbors. Fire Station 26 is on Western. I'm sorry, yeah, it's on Western before hitting Washington and entering the freeway.
It's right there.
So
Yeah.
yeah, correct. There's something to be right here.
Have you made contact with Station 34 that's on the south end of our footprint?
No, I didn't. I only got the contact person of Brian Vera, but I have not reached out to.
Okay, just find out when they're open houses.
And everyone, they're all, it's across the city.
Oh, they're all the same.
All the same day.
Okay.
So, yeah, all the fire departments are hosting.
It's not fire.
So they have, yeah. So you're saying the one by top of you, is that the one we're focusing on?
But right now, yeah, they were trying to send a flyer to let us know if that's near here in the neighborhood. So just to be aware, if you log in into the website, it's the fire service day. So every station is open. And some hosts with pancake mornings, I don't know, they'll have special events for kids. So just to briefly come out and meet with them.
We used to donate, they didn't, any funding?
No, we didn't.
If they don't have to run it voluntarily.
Laura,
we don't have an outreach person.
Okay, guys, we're having a conversation without identifying ourselves.
Sorry.
Oh, I feel like a teacher.
Laura, can you give us an update on the fire event that we supported?
Yes, that it was gonna come during
Oh.
executive
Oh, okay.
committee. So we'll come back, but Kareem, a lot of us actually were at one or another of the 3 days, as was Alfonso, of the Battalion 11 Firefighters Appreciation Day on April 21, 22, and 23, which was a really wonderful event, but I think we'll have to defer. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to say we're not talking about that right this second. It was a wonderful event, which we'll talk about a little more later in the evening. Crossing fingers, we have quorum by then. Okay, are there any other, I don't think so, government officials? For government officials? No. So we're gonna skip past, I'm sorry, we have agendas on the table. We're gonna skip past proposed community impact statements because we can't do that without quorum, and move on to the presentations related to funding requests. And the first one is, Karina, are you prepared for this? Support for West Adams. Well, actually, this one we'll skip to, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, point of order, Laura, just a question, this is Teresa speaking. When you're recommending that we do the presentations, even though we will not do the vote.
So that we can have a 30-minute Zoom meeting if it becomes necessary, or a 30 minutes at the end of this meeting, click, 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 just vote on the items. If we end up with quorum. What?
Dolores, what?
No, it's not what. I'm sorry, what?
Dolores,
What, please?
so there may be other board members at this special meeting you're talking about, and they don't know what they're voting on. So what is the process going to be?
Well, Dolores, it might be at the end of this meeting, so we can't just sit here and hope that we could get out of the room on time if I mean, in other words, Candace says, like we're now one person short, so you start just calling Paula over and over again and asking her to log in, we'll have quorum. Maybe.
I'm sorry, this is Teresa speaking, she is our president, and you did speak to her, right?
Not today, but she. Candace?
Hi, I'm here.
We know, but we're still short of quorum by one person. Okay.
Never mind.
I mean, we have people on Zoom and here in the room who would like to do their presentations. So that's really my point. And
So
in the answer
come back to the voting?
well, I don't know that they would have to come back for the voting. Remember, Dolores, we only have a few more board members. We're short. We're only at 16 total.
No,
So
I'm sorry, this is Teresa speaking. Dolores is saying if we have a special meeting and there were board members who attend who will not hear this presentation, will these applicants have to come back and present?
if you're asking me my personal opinion, I don't think so. I think we could ask our board members who missed the meeting to watch the presentations on YouTube.
Or just have to stay.
Or that.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I mean, I think because they have a video presentation, you know, we have presentations coming up. So I just think, let's get through them. Then we may be going home early. We would ask the other board members to read the applications and go on Zoom.
Okay, so.
I mean, on YouTube.
When you send out the notice for the special meeting for voting, you might want to indicate that they should watch the presentation on YouTube.
Correct.
Just to clear up anything, and so we won't have a bunch of questions going back and forth.
Right, which is in fact, yes, thank you,
Okay.
that's right. And I will say that's how city commissions do work. When commissioners miss a meeting, but an item is continued, they are requested to read the materials and listen or watch the tapes, before the next meeting. So it would be consistent with how the city conducts its business.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get started then.
Okay, so the first one is not a presentation, it's would just, so I think unless you have a presentation, we should skip it, the South LA Public Safety first.
Oh, yeah, we don't have a presentation.
So we'll skip it. The second one, they're not here yet. I know they had a move.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Moving on to LA Parks Foundation. He is here. Whitney is here. So hi, Whitney. Do you have an actual presentation or just a discussion, and should I share? And you're gonna,
Yeah, I'll read it.
Teresa's gonna lead.
Yeah.
But what should you have me share?
No, I don't know.
Nothing?
Is there
Okay.
anything in the Google Drive? Okay, it's just the flyer. Hi, everybody, this is Teresa again. You may remember in November, we voted to provide $400 to South Seas House and Vinnie Potter Park for holiday decorations. Well, after meeting with the city clerk, we cannot donate to another government entity. So we have to do it through 501c3. So the LA Parks Foundation, I reached out to them. They will set up a special fund just for the Vinnie Potter Park and the South Seas House. And only the director will have access to those funds to use initially for the for decorations, because there are Halloween decorations for destroyed and some of the Christmas decorations. And then moving forward with the remaining amount, we will advise them, you know, how we would like for them to spend that money. So Whitney Ashford is our director who's on maternity leave. Whitney is the director filling in now, and she's here just to.
Well, to introduce herself.
Oh,
good.
yes. Hi, Whitney.
Okay, except for I've just screwed up the screen. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know. What did it do?
What's wrong? Oh, it's just on the bottom?
I don't know. You don't know either, like a.
I can only do it for next. I know it's the end of the fiscal year is June.
Yeah, now we get this.
We'll bring it back when we get the third. Just hold this down. And then just move it over. And then-
Well, I've been sick. Oh, years.
That's the best I can do, Laura.
Yeah, but where's the rest of the meeting? I could share. Try it. Okay. All right. Whitney, can you introduce yourself, please?
Whitney, can you hear us, Whitney?
Did Whitney walk away? All right.
So that's the deal on the $1,000 that we would like to donate to, or not donate, but provide to
Yeah,
South Seas House.
yeah,
So
okay. All right,
there's, yeah.
so I need to, we can take a moment here. I need to eject the flash drive. And. But we know how to run.
Just put in, it's a short video. I don't know, maybe one thing. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah. It's just kind of interesting little device. Really.
Oh, it's just almost like a little.
Yeah, it's a
thing.
little difficult.
Yeah. This one?
No, I guess I'm not doing so well.
There we go. Okay, great.
Great. So this is Laura speaking, and I'm going to ask that our friends from World Harvest come more like here, so that the owl can catch your voices and identify you. You say, hi, I'm Lam.
Oh, that's it. Guys, with purpose. I know.
Okay. My name is Glenn Corrado. I'm the president and CEO of World Harvest Charities and Family Services, better known as. So anyways, we've been around 17 years. And it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher because we're not funded, we're not grant driven. And this is a ask that we have done many times. UNNC has been one of our great supporters from getting us a freezer, 3-door freezer, 3-door refrigerator. Actually, I think you guys gave us enough money for 2 freezers. And those freezers are around $5,000 each. You guys got us pallet jacks, amazing. Right now, we're asking for a minivan. You've seen them around, all these Sprinter vans and stuff like that. At first, I was asking each one of these vans, they run around $60,000, $70,000, you know, right around there. And then I started going around all the neighborhood councils and they gave me some money here and there. It's really tough for me to spend somebody else's money just like that, okay? So guess what? If you look into your pamphlet there, you will see some photos, right? No, you have photos? Yeah, you have the photos. Oh, you're in
The computer that is being like doing the rock thing. So it will be like that.
So what I was able to do, yeah, that's gonna be the new van. Well, it's new for us, you know, yeah. You know, it's like, there's a comic, never forget the joke. But, anyways, I'm gonna be able to purchase 2 minivans. Because this is what's going on. Can you show how many people are actually in need? And we don't make this stuff up. This right here. This is January. This is approximately 300 brand new families that have come through here. Every time they come in here, when they sign up as a member, they fill this out one time. They don't fill this out every single time. So when you're talking about the economy and all of that good stuff, and this is February, same thing, name, address, kids, all of that, all in here. We need the van really, really bad because this is what we do. Our volunteers, that basket is truly what you get. We're not, you see that?
Right.
That's $400 or $500 worth of grocery today. And you get to pick it out yourself.
Are the baskets still $40?
We had to bump it up because minimum wage went up. My rent went up, everything is like costly, but it's only $50 donation, or you can volunteer for 2 hours.
So Michael Kimbrough, I've passed your place a million times. Never stopped in. And honestly, heard of you. You're doing great things, but I don't understand what you do. Could you just briefly explain
This is
how it works?
Okay, so this is how it works. If you need food, you come to World Harvest. And it doesn't matter, we don't check IDs, it's not my job. It doesn't matter how much you make, how little you make. Whether you're on DPSS, SSI, Section 8, it's not my thing. You come in, you want food, donate $50 to our charities. Cause, we're not, yeah, and you get a shopping cart, go through the produce section and you can fill it up just like that. For that organization that was looking for Christmas decorations and stuff, we have pallets and pallets of it. Okay, that I can also donate to them.
That was recreation parks.
Yes.
City, recreation parks.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
on top of, whatever funding you guys are gonna get. But they walk out with $400 or $500 worth of groceries that they get to pick themselves. It's not your traditional food bank where there's a long line like this and they get one little plastic bag and you look inside and you go, what is this thing? Get the line going. Yeah, so that's basically what we do. These vans that we're asking for, will be able to let us do the work that we need to do. Right now, we're short-handed. My van that we have is on its last leg. And it's got over 400,000 miles on it. And we've been fixing it and fixing it and fixing it, all that stuff, month after month. But we were able, I realized the lady that does our DMV work, she has the license to go to auction. She was able to give us a van for $17,500. I'm wrapping it. The wrap costs $4,000, $3,800, but it's a beautiful, beautiful looking wrap. And then I also have total cost. Oh, when we got it from the auction, sent it to my mechanic, another $4,000 to like do everything and put extra heavy duty springs on it and all that. We're at $27,000. So basically, I'm gonna buy one and get one free because our goal is to raise $65,000. So I'm hoping tonight, UNNC would be kind enough to say, sure, and yeah, why not? And that's it. That's about it. Yeah, the NCs that have given, and also, we're gonna put UNNC on our truck. If that's okay, is that legal? Yeah, that has recognition, so we're gonna put a sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we ask him questions?
Yeah, so when you have a forum, it's a general public comment.
Okay.
So you can't have public comment, but it's other board discussion that's fine, questions.
Okay. We don't have any position.
Okay, no problem, but that's my presentation. I really want to invite you over to World Harvest. All the fruits and vegetables that we get are mostly organic. They come from the distribution warehouses of Whole Foods, Gelson's, Trader Joe, Air One, Bristol Farm products. Everybody wants to know if they have eggs. I do have eggs, okay? And they're not $10 a dozen. We are giving out, what, half dozen eggs for free, part of the basket. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. The meats we give away today, we're giving out Blutzels barbecue. I don't know if you know Blutzels.
Okay.
Yeah, they're rated within top 3 of barbecue joints in the United States. You don't. And the chicken, we don't just mess around with Parmesan chicken or whatever, no. Jadari chicken, free range, non-GMO, and it's raised right here in Valencia. They run, you can Google how much is Jadari chicken, $8 to $12. Wow. And it's just amazing. There's a Hawaiian saying, part Hawaiian. If you want to give Abra, you gotta give all, or you give nothing. That's how it is. With the accent. Yeah.
So the stores that you said you're getting the food from, this is Diana Cooper. Do they give it to you at a discount or is it, you know, does it have to be like a certain quality for them to put it on their shelf? And if it's not, then they would rather donate it than throw it out? Like, how does that?
Well, we don't go to the stores.
Right.
Just as you can see how many people, on a daily basis, maybe 100 to 150 families, Monday to Friday, Saturday, 200 to 300 families that come in. Multiply that by 4 or 5 people in their family. So when we go to the store, like a market, I don't know if you guys been to like routes. They have like a go back thing. That doesn't even fit my basket. So we go to the distribution center and they have like a whole pallet of bananas. And one of them is turned yellow. We have apples that maybe 2 or 3 are not good. So they can't move it out, they can't sell it, they give it to us. And we're a 501c3, so they get it.
Right.
That's right.
That's
Yeah, so it's really good. So what are your hours? Monday to Friday. That being said, ladies first.
You may not want my question. So this is Teresa speaking. There were some allegations, that you and your family and 7 of your, employees donated money to Kevin De Leon.
Yeah.
And then he provided you with a contract of $150,000.
No. Yeah.
Well, can you tell me the status of that right now?
Oh, yeah, it's settled. What happened was this. The campaign manager did not know that if you were a staff member or an officer in a company that has a contract with the city. I've had the contract with the city for 17 years, way before Kevin. Kevin just came along 2-3 years ago, and that's it. She donated. Nobody said, hey, wait, you're your employees, you can't. I didn't.
The campaign manager asked you to donate?
Yeah, it was just, you know, you support somebody and they're a nice person and you go, okay, I'm gonna back this person up. And that's what they did. When we donated at the time, nobody said anything. And with you, they gave what happened.
So I donated because I have the experience on the street, I can say, because I've been helping. I was like a volunteer at War Harvest. Nobody wants to help me. I came here like this immigrant. So I not only have food at War Harvest, I have hope because nobody wants to help me. And then I've been helping War Harvest since I came here. I almost 8 years. So, and then I went to the street, right, to food community, feed the community with War Harvest. And then it's most of like people in wheelchair, elderly people, or single moms that we were feeding. So it's people in need in all the community, and I had that experience. And then I said, I'm so glad because I have food when we're harvest, but these people, they don't have food. So, and that was, as the only person that is constantly helping the community, I said, why not? Is people are receiving food, and now they are like calling us because right now in part of that section, nobody's helping them. They are asking when you are going to do it. We give them vouchers, we'll harvest individual. So and then now, and then that's just my purpose, you know, is a lot of need and I experience like.
I don't doubt that, but you
So-
answer the question
Yeah.
about donating to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't, but
So-
tell me this, Glenn, do
Okay,
you receive contracts from any other council districts?
I do. Almost half of the council districts. I personally do not,
I mean-
because the only. Right,
Can you
Yeah.
give us some details about that? Like, which council, how much funding?
It's not how much funding, but each box that we make for them is $55. That's what we do. That includes the meat, the transportation, the setup, the distribution, all of that, staff, and everything else. She donated $1,000. When this thing hit and somebody made it aware to the campaign, they gave her the money back. That's all it was, you know, so like, hey, you know, you can't because you're an officer, you're an employee. So that was that, and that's it. And it was simple.
Michael Kimbrough again, I don't mean to pry, again, but
No.
now I have a question.
Yes,
So I don't know, because I do not understand entirely what you do, and that's all I'm trying to understand.
yeah,
So you have contracts with the council districts
yes,
to provide what?
to provide food. Remember, you are hungry every single day.
Yes.
We eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks. You know,
Who? What does the council district give you money to do for whom? Okay.
And fill out that form, they can get, they fill out the voucher and they can pay $50 a
What's
month.
a voucher?
That's what Dolores speaking, when the council districts like City 10, for example,
yes,
have food giveaways.
right,
That's where we get food from you.
yes.
Okay,
That's fun.
yes.
Like CP10,
Okay.
that's a
I didn't
great
understand.
example.
So, and that's the same thing as well.
Yes, and Heather Hutt, did,
Would that be like a
Well-
turkey giveaway that they did?
yes, yes,
Ah,
we did,
They got that. from
we
you.
did 1,500 boxes.
Yeah,
They got everything from me.
I didn't know.
And that whole setup, that was all us.
I see.
That's the contract
I
I'm
am
talking about.
That is other districts as well,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's other districts.
but.
Who's calling on me? This is Laura. When UNC donated food boxes for a couple of years in Rotary Park, it became Day of Service. That was through also Rural Park. So in other words, the go-to
I
play.
didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Is that also the guy that does the turkeys down in Crestone areas, every year?
I don't-
Jack.
Yeah, that's not you.
No, but guess what? When Mr. Jackson was alive, he got the. And we worked together. And when you guys do the movie at the park.
Yeah.
I would give Jeff like 100, 200 vouchers,
Yeah,
free vouchers and.
I
give away
remember
to families, right? For free,
Yeah.
no
I
cost.
remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we cannot make a decision tonight. I don't know if there were any questions.
It's great, yeah.
Questions from the Zoom room. Looks like we're good. So we,
So,
you know, I'm crossing fingers we can get this something done in May.
Great, great. Yes. Thank you guys so much for having me. Much mahalo and aloha. And see you there. And everybody there.
Yeah, well, actually go to get, so you need to have talked to your neighbors in advance.
Yes,
Wait.
we do. Yeah.
Okay, and I wanna, thank you for listening. We have.
That's what she was saying.
Okay.
$50.
The rest of it, okay, next. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, me looking at the email to see what's happening. We talked to them today, next one on here. Terrence was having a problem with the other. Are you? And I'm like, oh, you just hear their basic stuff.
Well, for the political.
Okay, but are you with the Malcolm X group? Okay.
Why don't you, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we hear from you now, Dion, while we reach out to
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I didn't do the particular funding, I just realized that's what I will do next time. However, I am a double college, double part of a book in the South, because I grew up doing it. But today, because kids aren't really doing it as much, and anybody who jumped over before probably realized that growing up doing double dutch became the team work in the community, which helps build relationships, right? Which also helps reduce crime and other negative impacts. No one there's kids around, there's kids now, you need to know, yeah. So they're not, I can say, right, all kind of planning, creating this whole new different thing that they love to do now. And it's just so awesome. Those friendships, team building skills, socialization skills, community skills. So it's really just, it's well beyond just playing outside. And so I like to bring this opportunity to children throughout the city. I've been doing this now for about 5 years. Typically, I try to do it free, but unfortunately, kind of do that. And so we ended up having to charge. But not no fee, but that does kind of stop a lot of fees. People in the schools is recommended part, but again, if the children can't afford to join us, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm hoping I can assistance with funding, and I'm not a 501c3. But any sort of funding, whether it be an advertising cost and things like I do see that you could possibly assist with, or assistance with the enrollment for the students within the provide. I'm not sure center, I've been in conversation with them. They love to have the project the program there, but once again, there's no funding. And so
what are the costs associated with having like a 6-week program?
So, I typically charge by the day. I can do a by program, but essentially comes up $14 per student per day. And that cost was essentially paid for assistant coach, and it also assists with the equipment cost. So it costs about $750 equipment for years to go to damage, also the same size of the classes, how many different pieces of material that we need, but we try to keep it around the classroom 12 to 15 with N each. And so that would be the 2-year mark with that number of kids with the damage that happens. However, around $3,000 of funding will allow 44 kids to go through the program. So that's part of the experience, not with staffing and space, which is a lot of space. So the cost is minimal, but there is like especially I never want to take it. And if a lot of people from our program, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get it just up in time for this summer. But the summer program, again, for the summer, free, which another thing that was really in faith, However, again, I have to hire some wanting the money to do something.
Sorry, this is a little question. Laura, do we do organization thing? Oh, sorry, Laura. Do that. Does the organization need to be 501(c)(3) in order to request funding? Yeah. Oh, okay.
What I really do the people here, it looks like the funding for, community support, you have to be a 501. But it doesn't look like you have to be a 501 for support with administrative costs or like billboards or anything that we're promoting.
If we pay them a vendor directly.
Well, if you were doing an event, we could participate in it, for example. Because we're not.
So it has to be an actual event, like an ongoing.
Well, I mean, in other words, there's sometimes there's ways to finesse, but an outright donation has to be to a 501(c)(3 charitable organization. So not just any nonprofit. So there's nonprofits that are 501(c)(6, for example, and they're like trade organizations. We couldn't donate to them either. They have to be
able to assist with purchasing materials or?
We could, again, if we wanted to co-sponsor an event, I'm just making this up, you know, we could co-sponsor events with people who are not nonprofits, because it becomes our purchase. But that's a whole other kind of torture.
Michael Surfman speaking. Perhaps if you were to go to a school or some other organization that had the 50.
Right, and partner with it.
Right, and then we would then perhaps, reimburse them to pay for it. So that's one avenue of funding we could go down.
Also, this is Teresa speaking. I would suggest beyond that you write out a project. Say you want to do an event at Benny Potter Park. It's going to cost you $200 to rent the park on a Saturday afternoon, and you just present us with something so that we can kind of think, well, maybe we can donate money to the park foundation, or we could do an outreach. We could, kind of invest in.
That's what I'm saying. We could maybe find a way.
I do have an entire program written out, and you guys are going to look at it.
You can go to the website, you can email the executive committee, and then that's the first stop. I've got to think that, and then they bring it up to board.
I mean, you can do a whole different one, so do it a little differently, but paying directly to the vendor on our. That or get away. Oh, yeah.
Well, not necessarily easier, just a different way.
So the way that.
It's not necessarily easier.
Think like there may be a path that I might take considering what my position is. So what does like?
Say this again.
So considering my position, I'm assuming that my path may have to be that a little bit more difficult way that you mentioned, so I'm just.
Well, there's a number of different ways. Another one is if there's no way you can be a 501(c)(3, but maybe you can get a fiscal sponsor, which is a 501(c)(3. And
that's what I mean.
Well, it's not your only option. I'd say that's for us, for neighborhood councils. It can be easier to do what the NPG, nonprofit grant, than any of the other forms of funding, because the way the city is set up, it's just an easier thing for them to process. Anything else just requires a lot of work on our part too, and it's not necessarily successful.
Dolores speaking here, I like what Teresa said, so we can't get all that discussion done this evening. Why don't you go ahead and email Laura and the executive committee and tell them what you want, and then ask, how can you assist me in getting this done?
Right.
And y'all can have that discussion, but we're not gonna get done.
Right, and you can, so you know, that's the kind of meeting we would do at an executive, the officers would do. So again, on the other bad news, FYI, you've heard Alfonso say our budget is slashed. So.
Big time.
Well, it was.
I don't know this, and this is just speaking, just as an idea. For instance, we did a resource fair at Dudley Shaw Park. And we brought in a lot of city entities to share information. But maybe we could have had, and they have a playground, we could have had a double dutch contest. So while the parents were, you know, getting information from the city entities, their kids came in over getting a double dutch class for a few hours. And that's something maybe part of our.
I'd like to nominate Teresa to head up the outreach.
I was thinking about it because we had mentioned to Laura about doing a tree, we're gonna do kind of a tree giveaway, we've been talking about doing a fruit tree giveaway, we're gonna do planting around this exactly in the school, right? So, but I have.
Well, you could almost have something like this as part of that event.
Well,
of course.
Yeah, and we're talking about it, we do that all the time, it takes seconds to learn to jump in the rope, just a simple jump.
But I'm saying that's a way we could fund jump ropes and some other
Yeah.
things.
I mean, in other words,
But that is a lot
funding-
of work.
It is a lot of work, because then you become a vendor. So, but still a jump rope, you know, what you're doing vendor seems maybe better than a makeup on kids' faces vendor. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
although
but it
kids
might
love
not
that
be a
too.
vendor, Laura. It could just be that we.
Can we just ask her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Whether the subject, well, that's a good point, and we've done that, 100 times before, so we love being invited to events like that, so. If you've been amazing event, if you guys were invited us, we'd love to be there. Thank you all. But I will leave you. Thank you for looking at this.
Okay, you are welcome. So,
We have one place that.
we don't, I don't know. Can call-in user number 1, can you identify yourself, please? Not because we're nosy, but you happen to be a board member. Or not. Apparently not.
So can we?
Okay, we don't have, let's just, or do you happen to be with, family, Malcolm, and effort? Well, I know that I really can't because there was a lot of emails. Terrence. Well, anyway, the head of the organization did email me. He was stuck in a Zoom, no, he was stuck at a meeting at UCLA and was hoping to join by Zoom. But he said for sure sometime after 7 he could join by Zoom. So that's why you saw me looking to make sure I sent him the right Zoom link. I did. I don't know what happened, but there we go. So I will say for board members, I can't give the actual presentation for the families Konami and Crenshaw Boulevard as Malcolm X corridor, but I can give you a little bit of information. And Hunter, you might need to listen to this because it involves.
Well, 100% listen, they're not even here.
Now, I'm not talking about the money.
No, Lord.
Not talking about the money. There is an event on May 17 where Crenshaw Boulevard will be co-named the Malcolm X corridor. And they'll be putting up signage and having basically several stops. The first one at 10 a.m. on the May 17th. Well, we supported that several years ago and city council decided that the date is on your agenda. No, it's not. In 2023. So the first stop on this day where they're gonna have a kind of a procession to several different places along their corridor is at Obama and Crenshaw within on the UNNC side, and they have asked UNNC to make some speech. That's why I wanted to draw your attention to this. to get involved with it.
Okay.
So that's not what the money is for. That's the other part of this. So I know we don't have the presentation. So we actually did have several meetings with them in 2020 and 2021, as did the other neighborhood councils along the Crenshaw Boulevard. Corey, why are you shaking?
This is for the, sorry, this is for the.
Malcolm X. Huh?
I don't want to be on.
Okay, well then.
Yeah, I'm just shaking.
Yeah, you are on the record, so let's, don't say.
And they're not here,
And they're not here.
so they're not here, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to know if anyone wanted to be involved with being on the dais and speechifying on May 17th.
I do. Yes, this is
I'm not gonna help write the speech, but I don't think I should give this speech.
Well, I was thinking myself. No.
Can you hear me?
Really asking Dolores, because Heather Hutt will also be giving a speech. I'm really asking Dolores if she wanted to help represent us that day. Heather.
I definitely do. This is so.
I heard you show, yes, you too. But I was really, Dolores is busy talking in the corner. Okay, we're gonna move on because we can't make any decisions anyway, and I think that becomes.
This is Teresa speaking. If we are going to be making comments,
We can't.
not, I'm talking about at this.
Oh, yes.
The next celebration.
Mhm.
And board members will be speaking on behalf of the board.
Somebody has to write.
I think it needs to be, the comments need to be approved by the executive. committee.
Correct.
You just have it up.
Oh, no, Aaron. I mean, we can designate one or two representatives, but they have to say what we want to say. Okay. So, show, I did hear that you would like to be one of them, but again, I think you heard what we're saying, we'll be preparing the remarks for whoever, but we have to check in with public too.
Absolutely not. Sorry, I'm going around the record. How many meetings have we had when we all have not been here? I'm sure she conceded the 3 meeting.
All right. That is true, but we.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I don't think, since we don't have forum, Candace, are you still on the line here? I mean, I see you're here, but are you here? Candace? Oh, God. Do you think?
Yeah, let me unmute myself. Yes, I'm still here.
No.
Oh, very good. We're talking, did anyone from, family, Malcolm X, did you talk to them today? Have there been any action?
No, I think I saw a
Yes.
email that
They would be here, right?
the director guy was at UCLA, and then I think he emailed someone else and they said that they would attend
Yeah,
via
that's not
Zoom. So
No.
yeah, I was on that email. I didn't see that.
Okay, so, did you wanna do a quick, I know you don't want to, but do you wanna do a
Not
quick, guys, is anybody talking?
Yeah, we were having a separate conversation. Sorry, that
Yeah,
was just.
I can't hear.
Yeah, Candace, do you wanna do a quick recap of the, Battalion 11 firefighters appreciation dinner as we discussed?
Yeah, sure. It was really nice. For 3 days, we donated on the first day. Shout out to Caloric Kitchen that gave us way more bang for our buck. But the firefighters appreciated. It felt like maybe there were about 100 firefighters or so a day. We donated enough food for 100 firefighters, so it was cool. We met the battalion chief and one of the assistant chiefs came from downtown and he was there each night and they were serving the firefighters. There was entertainment. We got a chance to mix and mingle and talk with the firefighters and share our deep appreciation. They were also appreciative of us for just getting together and providing it. And so it was a really great event. Yeah, I feel like there was good volunteer turnout from each of the boards. So each night we kind of took shifts to be there. So shout out to everyone who came out. Good food, it was good company, and great. I think Aurora's trying to figure out how we could do this annually, because one of the things that they shared was that like battalions don't get a chance to get together, like the different shifts. So just kind of making it so that maybe this can be annually, so they have a chance to just relax and fellowship with each other. So it was cool.
And Teresa, you told me about the third night.
Oh, yeah, there's a young musical group, students, a group of brass students, I would say brass instruments, performed. It's called Global Arts. They're a nonprofit. They have after school music classes, and I think Karina and I both talked to them. They reached out. They're gonna put in an MPG. They do have students who live, even though they're right on the border, on the other side of Normandy. They have students who live within our boundaries, and they're going to, you know, put in an MPG to get some funding.
Yeah. Okay. Candace, do you have any other, you probably do, announcements related to the treasurer?
Yes, yes, I do. So next month is our very fun meeting where we get a chance to work on the administrative packet. So this is my call to all board members. If you have any suggestions of anything, events or thoughts about things that we should include or not include, I welcome you to email me cjackso0214@gmail.com, or you can come to our executive board meeting and we'll have a good discussion about what's going to be in the admin packet, and also considering the fact that they cut funds, what things maybe we may want to cut, or how we may want to move things around, considering we have a smaller budget next year. So that's my announcement.
Thank you. And as a reminder, for the first time you're hearing this, we vote in June on the admin packet and turn it in order to have money available to us July 1. But in July, especially this year, we have a 1/3 again new board. In July or August, they can redo whatever we voted on. But we have to turn something in, otherwise our credit card and our funds remain frozen until we turn in an admin packet. So we just allocate it's probably 25,000, whatever the city council does as a final vote. It would seem that's what it's going to be. That's the only amount we allocate. We cannot technically allocate rollover funds until sometime in August or September, when they confirm that whatever it is we have rollover. So,
So June 30th is the end of the fiscal year?
yes, but June 1 is the last day Candace can turn in a payment request, which is why not having quorum tonight is such a bad thing, because each of the funding requests requires being turned in by June 1. So that's why if we have any or 5th or whatever it is. So our regular board meeting isn't until the 5th day or so of June. Yes.
Email. I think Laura's going to want to have a special meeting.
Well, that's the only way to approve the NPG.
The same thing we're going to they wanted to put it in request, right?
No, this is
that's different. That's different.
Yeah. We can probably find other funds to print those emergency preparedness flyers in our existing. I mean, we can figure it out.
Yes.
But the NPGs, we can't. I mean, literally the last day is June 1. So we can't wait to the next board meeting to vote for this. And technically I mean, we don't know for sure. In the city council voted a couple of years ago that neighborhood councils do get to automatically roll over $10,000 of unspent funds. Right now, Candace, where are we, about 20?
Yeah, we have $20,000 left,
Oh,
but
we're
we're still spending, so we'll get closer to the 10.
Yeah.
In the memo, it said something like, at this point, because the money was cut, councils may be able to roll over any money that they have left, but the larger city council has to vote on that before like that becomes true.
So we're not necessarily assuming that we can
Yeah.
roll over 12, but we know we can roll over 10 for next year. So anyway, so we're really coming down to the wire, and that's why we're gonna, both because the NPGs will expire. We won't have the same money probably to give them in July, or maybe we will, but I don't, we're kind of racing, two trains racing, because I don't know when city council is gonna make that final decision about how much neighborhood councils can roll over either.
This is Teresa speaking. We are not the only neighborhood council to be in this predicament.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if city council is going to approve unlimited rollover, they will do that sooner than later. They are not gonna wait until
Right.
July 1st and say, oh, by the way, you guys can roll over your
No,
money. They're
right,
not-
and in fact, if they did it, I'm making up a date, if they did it on the 8th of May. If early next week, they say neighborhood councils can roll over everything they've got.
Then we
well,
don't have to have
then
a
we
special
don't have to have a special meeting, because we can vote on these MPGs in June. Can't turn in until July, but but we turn in the admin packet, we include the MPGs in the budget. As we vote again at the July meeting and we're done. So, but I'm just saying, it would have been better to have. Yes, Dolores.
Not about what you were talking about. Since we have newly elected officers, do I still have to come to the June 1st meeting?
July 1st.
July.
Yeah, June, you come to, oh, I'm sorry, another announcement. The new board does not sit until the July meeting. We're all of exiting board members are board members through June 30th.
Okay.
So the answer is yes, you have to come next month.
We have one
more meeting.
Okay, June 1st meeting.
Well, June
the 5th.
Whatever.
That should go.
And then I don't come to the July.
Correct, not the way we used to do it.
Okay.
I mean, you can come.
You can come. You're welcome to.
We won't be.
Well, you can, but you won't count towards quorum.
That would be nice.
The new board will be seated at the July meeting.
Oh, it's end of May. May 20 something.
Okay, what is?
Could it be?
May 18th,
May 18th.
or whatever the Sunday is.
Do you need people?
Well, have we signed up yet? Did we fill out? Okay, I will do something to you.
I thought
They invited us, but did we click onto the form and say we're coming? I didn't do it. I'll do it tonight.
No worries. I'll be there for a minute. I need to write down.
What is
Rock a bit, but
Okay. It will be amazing, but I do have, for those who are returning board members, or reelect, either way, or reelected board members, but if you've been on the board for 2 years, your training expires either in June or July, and you have to do it again. Yay. So, I mean, your training is every 2 years. So right now, every single one of us is in good standing. And if you joined at a different time, you're probably in good standing, but anyone who is just reelected or and where you've been on the board, you know, you're in a 4-year seat, you're gonna have to take a training again. And I will send out a note with a schedule. Is there anything else?
Are we lying in detail for that?
We had a 2-hour meeting with no quorum.
Yeah, and we didn't even officially start the meeting,
Well, we didn't start till 7:20, but yeah.
an hour and 20 minutes.
We don't even have to adjourn because we're not having an official.
We're not, committee reports of any sort.
No.
Tree committee, but I had a CIS, but I'm not, no.
Yeah, we can't do the CIS.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Planning and zoning only has, one thing.
But we can't talk about it because.
No, I'm just saying, you can treat. So some of us got an email telling us that 1848 Gramercy is on the planning commission agenda again. It's been remanded to planning commission for May 22 in the valley.
Why?
I don't know.
Because this is free, well, there, city planning commission and city council are having meetings in the valley. You know, we have a city hall building in the valley. Oh, okay. So they
take turns sometimes.
They do, but be careful about what they put on those agendas.
Yeah.
And not put a South Los Angeles matter on a Van Nuys agenda. And vice versa, you know, we try and.
That this is fine, yeah.
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 You know what?
Yeah, we're not adjourning, we never really. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys for showing up.
That on the agenda